Hello everybody, it is October, which means it is spooky time. And as such, I'm going to try really, very, very hard to do a Halloween or spooky themed video every Saturday and Wednesday this month. And we're going to start off with the patches for my Halloween Izuku costume that I've been working on. So, hope you enjoy! So starting out with the orange and purple striped fabric, I cut it out into a 5.5 by 5.5 square with my pinking shears, and I wasn't perfect with it because I thought it would make it look more realistic. And then I thought I was going to have to take some black and mix it with this purple, but actually that purple worked perfectly by itself, and I'll include it in the link down below. And then I actually ended up just taking some of my artist's tape because it was the perfect size, and I just taped out where I wanted to put these stripes. And this is all just based on how you think the reference image looks. Like, not gonna lie, there's not a lot of reference images of what exactly it looks like up close, so I just had to guesstimate based on what I thought it would look like on me. So yeah, I just end up taping it all down, and that's just because I was really hopeful that it would work out. I wasn't sure if it would work out. It did end up working out, though, with this specific fabric, because I just did not want to try and sketch out the lines with my chalk, which wasn't showing up well on the shiny side of the purple, and so on and so forth. Now, I do end up using a sponge, but I'm going to tell you right away, it was just better to use a brush, as I learned on my second layer, so woo. So in total, for me, this only took 2 layers of paint. It'll obviously depend on your paint and consistency, and whether you're mixing fabric paint with a fabric medium, stuff like that. This fabric paint went on pretty well, and overall, I would say that this orange patch only took me about 15 minutes to do all of it. Like, not accounting for dry time. Just like taping it up, painting it, all that jazz. Peeling the paint up. In total, only took me about 15 minutes. Which was nice. Not too bad. Probably would have been quicker if I had, not been eyeballing the tape and knew exactly how I wanted to put the tape on, but it is what it is. And if I hadn't used this sponge, the sponge just did not work out, guys. Do not use a sponge for this specific bit. Also, the sponge just absorbed so much of the paint compared to the brush. It was insane. And there is a cat attacking my ponytail. Whoops. Okay. You're gonna get a lot of cat and animal visits in this video, I'm sure. Yeah. So, there's where I sat it to the side to dry, and I switched over to the paintbrush. It doesn't take long to dry, at least this specific fabric paint didn't, so that was nice. I was able to get it all done one day, while I let this dry, I worked on other patches, so woo. But yeah. It's just a lot of fun painting and more painting for at least these first 2 patches. That's what it is. It's painting. The 9 patch is going to be a bit more sewing, as is the All Might patch. And hopefully the purple patch will turn out alright. I'm going to try painting that at some point, but it might not, so we'll see. If it doesn't turn out well, I'll just look for purple plaid, like I said in the fabric choices video. But yeah, you can really, this is where I see that, the second layer went on really well, and I'm like, ooh, yes, this should be perfect. As I put it on, I was just like, wow, I really, really liked how this ended up, so I'm happy for it. Also, this fabric paint, because it wasn't mixed with a fabric medium, did not have any instructions for heat setting, So I haven't. I might end up heat setting it though. It hasn't had to go through a wash yet, so. Ooh, that'll be fun. This is just me touching up any edges, any bits and bobs that I see. And we're about to be at my favorite part, guys. Peeling up the tape. Which, I did notice that it did peel up, like, the edges of my fabric. But I just took my pinking shears at the end and kind of touched it up. But overall, I really liked how this looked. Because I couldn't really find a fabric that looked how I liked it. That wasn't, like, that was already in my stash, so being able to alter this orange fabric just worked wonders for this cosplay. Here's hoping this cosplay stays under my budget of $25 for it, which it's looking like it will. Most of the stuff has come from my stash, and what it hasn't been at the stash has been very cheap, so. And this is the end of the purple. Time to start on the orange and green dotted one. I cut it out of the same orange fabric that I used for the orange and purple striped, and I cut it out at about the same size. Again, I'm not trying to be perfect about it. I think it'll add a little bit of character if they're a little different. I just end up tracing the original patch, and you can't really see the tracing lines because of the white chalk pen. So sorry about that, but yeah. Here's me cutting out the patch. This one did end up being a little wibbly wobbly looking, but that's fine. Like I said, I want it to look very handmade, because his outfit does look very handmade, so woo. And now I'm comparing it to the purple square that I've cut out, and I'm using my stapler circle stencil to choose what size circles I do. I think it's a 1-inch diameter circle. I think I'm going to hold it up to you after this. I use my water erase fabric marker to sketch out the circles, and yeah, it's a 1-inch. And I just eyeball it, like placement-wise. You could probably definitely do the circles without a stencil if you think that you can get all the circles at the same size. Go at it. I tried to get it to match the reference, but it was a little hard, so I just gave up on that and just placed the circles where I thought they would look best. I went with the... Oh, there's the cat. I went with the water erase instead of the air erase because I was worried that painting over the air erase would make it stick, like make it stay in the fabric. But I was pretty sure the water erase would just come off, and I did end up being right, so we'll definitely test that stuff first. I did not, because I was like, whatever. Ooh. Yeah, so I just really eyeball the placement so I can figure out where everything goes. And then, next up, I thought I was going to be using this green fabric paint mixed with little textile medium, but, it did not work out like that. It was gone bad. It was very bad. So I ended up just tossing that in the trash. Grabbed a bottle of Apple Barrel Spring Green. Mixed it with my textile medium. My textile medium's the Deco Color textile medium. It's 2 parts paint to 1 part textile medium. And then I just start picking up the paint with my paintbrush and painting in the circles. This did take more layers than the purple on orange, only by, it only needed, I think 3 or 4 layers compared to the 2 of the other one, but still, figured I should mention that. I don't know if it's just because this is mixing acrylic paint with textile medium, or if it's just because it's green on orange and it's a slightly, not lighter, but varied color. A little bit off screen here. Sorry about that. Yeah, you just gotta fill in the circles as nicely as you can. If you had a stick-on stencil, this would probably be quicker and easier, but I did not, so I'm just painting them inside the lines. I do think that they aren't quite as perfect as I wish they were, but that it is what it is. I mean, It's fine in the long run. I'm just sad about it. And this is me going in with the second layer, because it did dry pretty fast, to be honest. I think in total, the purple patch and the green patch only maybe took me an hour, like, not including dry time. Just because of the taping and the sketching and the cutting and the painting. Maybe not even an hour, maybe just 30 minutes or so. A lot of it was really the taping and the stenciling into the circles for both of them. And then this is the third layer of paint. It's starting to get more opaque here in this third layer. But I do decide that I want a fourth layer, I remember now, because this wasn't as opaque as I wanted it. Now, they both still feel fine, if you're worried about that. They still feel fabricy. They don't feel crunchy or anything, which is good. It is machine washable. With the green, I had to heat set it, which I didn't do on screen just because I forgot. You have to heat set it, and then you don't wash it for 72 hours after. But then you can wash it, which was nice because it means my Izuku ghost cape thing, poncho, will be washable, which is good because it's a white fabric, and that is big fear. Yeah, I'm almost done with the third layer here. And then I think what I end up doing is I saw Sarah Spaceman do this on Instagram, I think, where she took her wet paintbrush and she uses it to wash away the water-soluble marker. And I zoom you guys in so you guys can see what I'm doing. This didn't work quite as well as I was wanting it to on this fabric. I would recommend just rinsing it, not washing it or scrubbing or anything, just rinsing it under some water. Because this just ended up kind of spreading it. You'll see in the next view. But yeah. Because either way, I ended up having to let it dry. Yeah. Here it is. You can kind of see where it's kind of stained around. But I'm just going ahead and doing the fourth layer of paint. And then after that, I do end up rinsing it. You'll see the final product at the very end with all of the patches together. But yeah, this is just about done. Hope you enjoyed and are ready for the next one. Bye-bye. I don't know why I said bye. Don't listen to me. So with this, I did try to go more towards the design that was on the left of the screen. I cut it out to an 8.5, I think. It's 8 by 8 or 8.5, and I sketched stuff out. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that this did not work out how I wanted it to, and I did just end up tossing this and hardcore shopping for a purple plaid that I thought was close enough. But I figured I'd show you guys what I did anyways, just so you guys would know that sometimes stuff doesn't work out. It's like a really big just part of how I feel about stuff is that sometimes stuff doesn't work out, and that's fine. But yeah, this just did not work out well. And so I hunted down a purple plaid, which y'all will see in the next clip when I cut it to size. Yeah, bye-bye to the purple. It did not work. And there's a kitty! Woo. So I did end up getting this purple plaid at Joann's after I went searching for forever. You can see me searching in a vlog that should have come out before this. I'll put a card up above. But yeah, I got this purple plaid at Joann's, and I'm just going to cut it out to... I thought I was going to be cutting it out to an 8 by 8 square, but I think I actually cut it out to a 7.5 by 7.5 square. Once I see everything together with the other stripes, I thought that 8 was just a little too big, especially looking at the reference picture and stuff. So yeah, I just cut it out with my pinking shears, and yeah, that's it. Marking it with my water soluble fabric pen and all that jazz. So it's here. It looks to be, honestly, maybe slightly smaller than the All Might. We'll see how I do this. Yeah, it's got the small red circle on the outside, which is going to be the base. The gold on all of it, or the yellow, is all going to be either machine embroidery or hand embroidery. We will see. And then the blue is going to be a circle of its own, and the 9 is going to be cut out. So let's start drawing, I guess. Woo. Let's find an end to the fabric. Here we go. Yeah. Let's see how I want to do this. Tape roll. And I am going to compare it to the All Might patch, which is still not finished, but slowly but surely. Okay, guys. Yeah, you know what? We'll use you for the big circle. Yeah. Use you for the big circle, and I'll figure out what I'll do for the small circle. Where the heck? With the new desk, sometimes I forget where I put my new stuff. But yeah. There we go. I'm just gonna draw it in a circle, like so. And then cutty cut with these. I used the pinking shears to make it look cohesive with all the other patches and just to make it look like less thready, like so there's not, what's the word I'm looking for? You guys will figure out what I mean, whatever, but yeah. There we go. Alright, so we've got the red circle cut out. I'm going to cut out the blue circle now, but to do that, first I have to find out where the heck the fabric is that needs to be cut. Oof. Here. Okay. I used the outer circle of this for you. So I guess let's just throw you on. And use this to decide. That looks better than the other attempt. Time to just trim it all around, guys. There, perfect. So for the 9, I'm going to take this blue circle and trace it out on this paper. And I'll use that to make the pattern for the 9. Like so. And then, gosh. gosh, where did I put that? Let's look at the 9 in a photo. So we know it goes kind of close to the blue down here at the bottom, and it's rounded. So I'm gonna say about like so. And then this piece is kind of squared. Something like that. And we'll just cut it out and then go to the red fabric. Alright, got the 9 pattern cut out. We're just gonna put it right up next to this and sketch it out to be cut. Sketched out, and then cut out. And there we go. I'm actually gonna rinse this in water to get the chalk off, and then I'll be back for ironing it all together to be prepared for embroidery. Woo. Take the heat and bond, iron it on. I'm just gonna do that off screen because you guys saw how or will see how I'm doing it with the All Might stuff. If you've never used heat and bond, the instructions are pretty much exactly how you do it. So, woo. Oh, and the 9. Gonna go like that. Yep, okay. It's heat and bonded all together. Now I just have to, I'm either gonna zigzag stitch on my machine with yellow thread around the edges of the blue and the 9, or I'm gonna hand embroider. It depends on if I have yellow thread or not, so woo. Got my yellow thread on, threaded all the way through, have my stitch settings how they need to be, which is, it's on 4, with my J foot, which is my zigzag stitch here on this machine. I've got the stitch length set to 0.4 and the, I don't actually know if those are the correct words, whatever, but the width set to 6. And that creates this look on from here over. Here over is when you set it to 0.3 on a stitch length. And it was tight, which looks nice, but it was just super slow, so I'm gonna go with the 0.4. So yeah, woo. And there is the outer yellow circle. Now it's time to do the yellow around the 9. Woo! overall, I really like it. I wish this was a little smoother, but it's okay. Turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted, so woo. This is done, which means the only one left to finish is the All Might patch. Woo.